Yeah, let's go ahead and begin.
Already give me week 3.
Yeah, I'm excited. Um, I hope I hope we can keep up a good what's the word I'm thinking of? Like we can keep up a good set of weeks.
Yeah, keep proving that we have our ball knowledge and accurately predict a week with at least a large majority of these predicted correctly.
Yeah, I think surprisingly for two people who aren't really experts, we're really kind of grasping like at least the pick'ems. These I don't think you and I we're definitely like positive in our pick rate. I don't know. I can't remember how many you missed last week. I think I missed like
Let me look at what I have. I think I'm 22-8.
oh
So
wow.
yeah, and if I can get the two tonight correctly, hopefully be 24-8. But to kick off week 3, I have a Thursday night game between the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this one, Michael.
No,
Bills are going to
definitely
win
not.
this by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, this is probably gonna be a moment. Tua Tagovailoa is gonna have to, really feel something. We'll see what happens, but it's probably gonna be all Bills. This next one, honestly, this one is starting to feel no brainer. Danny Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes. He's kind of slinging it, and you're going up against arguably bottom three team in the league. I'm gonna go Danny Dimes here. Not much to argue.
Indiana Jones is going to carve up the Titans defense. I think this could still be a close game. It is a divisional game, Titans home game, but I do think the Titans don't really stand a chance if the Colts, yeah, they're not giving us a reason if the Colts play at the same clip they're at. It could be a good game, it could be a close game, but I still think the Colts win by a comfortable margin. I think they'll be in.
Oh yeah,
For the next game, if you had asked me this last week, I would have said
yeah.
the Steelers would have beaten Patriots, but from what I'm seeing from the Steelers, I think the Patriots will win this one. I think this could be a close game, but from what we saw this week, and I know the Patriots are playing the Dolphins. Take this with a grain of salt, but I do think that the Patriots playing a lot better, playing more complementary football, especially if the Steelers defense does not lock in. I think that this could have blowout potential. Not going to go out on a limb and say that will happen, but I think it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Looking back on who the Patriots really have faced, it's the Dolphins last week and then the Raiders the week before. Those two teams, when you tell me defense, those are not nearly in the top half of teams that I'm thinking of. I From what we saw against the Jets for Pittsburgh, I mean they're still pretty good, and I mean they scored what like 17 points against Seattle. I know they got blown out 31-17, but it's not like you're playing Seattle again. This is going to be a lot worse defense. I am going to go Pittsburgh here. The Patriots are going to fall back to reality. Yeah, but otherwise,
Well,
I
we'll
mean,
see who knows ball on this one.
it's going to be close. I do think what you said about Drake May and everything in that Patriots offense it's tough to look at for sure. But I think the experience here is going to lean in Tomlin's favor, even though Vrabel is very experienced. I mean, that's why he's making it close. Um, Moving on. Jaguars versus Texans, another AFC South divisional game. From what I can tell, from what's going on right now with the Texans, it's not like they're doing anything crazy. I also have the game on to my left here. It's really another sort of defensive showing. It's just not a lot of offense on or really possession at all on the Texans side. I mean, this is going into the third quarter. or this is the third quarter, probably about 5 minutes left. It's stagnant offense. What are you gonna expect? And the Jaguars have been playing like really good. So I just it being in Jacksonville, those fans, sitting at 1-1, this would be a great game to win. I think they're gonna take this one home because I don't think the Texans can really compete right now with no offense.
Yeah, honestly, I do think, again, if you had asked me last week, I think the Texans get this one, but I really think that they just failed to address the whole lineup in the offseason. I do think the Jaguars are a better team than last year, and I think the Texans have a good chance of starting 0-3 and being, tied with the Titans for last in the division.
Yeah, not very fun.
No. And then going on to the next game of the week, have Broncos and Chargers. I do think this will be a very good game. A defensive slugfest, I would think, but when I think of this, it kind of comes down to who I trust more as quarterback. I still stand by, I do think Bo Nix is at least a good quarterback, but Justin Herbert is definitely the more seasoned, the better coached quarterback and team. I do think the Chargers will eke out a win.
Yeah, I'm in very similar thinking. This is a team that does play Denver twice a year. So when you're talking about that Denver defense, and those, you know, smothering type of plays that they have going on there, this is a team that actually knows it. So that's going to have a less of an effect. They're actually, rating them how they probably should be rated when you're going in for preparation. This is also in LA. So this just seems kind of like a Chargers year, to be honest with you. So if they win against uh, the Raiders tonight, which my prediction was that they have or they will, after this week, this is gonna be a 3-0 start, and it's the division is probably just sitting in their hands, and already, I mean, they're gonna.
They're gonna start 2-0, and the Chiefs might be 0-2. I mean, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that's exactly where you want to be. Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for that game. It's just we'll see what quarterback does better again. Um, this next one, we're gonna go through them AFC versus NFC ones. It's gonna start with Minnesota Vikings versus Cincinnati Bengals. This one is not gonna be a good game. You have Jake Browning on the Bengals side. I don't. I think it's Carson Wentz. JJ McCarthy got ruled out for Week 3 already.
Oh my
Um,
god, I forgot about that. Oh my
yeah.
god.
Our Atlanta defense really gave him a fucking beating, or they really gave him a beating. So I don't know who to go here. I was not very reassured watching them play. If the Bengals can get any pressure on a very injured defense for the Vikings, it's an easy win. And Jake Browning has had these experiences, unfortunately, with Joe Burrow going down so much. I'm gonna go Bengals here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think, despite because I remember earlier seeing Jake McCarthy was out. I just kind of forgot until you reminded me. That changed my prediction, I think, because not that necessarily either of these teams right now with the state they're in are particularly good, but I watched the Broncos Chiefs game with Carson Wentz last year, week 18. I mean, Carson Wentz is not a good. He is he's very stinky, and I know Kevin O'Connell. It's like the Zoolander reference of the Kevin O'Connell school of quarterbacks who can't throw well and want to do other things well too. I know he's good at getting the most out of their quarterbacks, but I don't think Carson Wentz is that guy. And like you said, Jake Browning has had some very good games as the Bengals starter before, and so I do think the Bengals will. For the next game, Jets and Buccaneers. Again, ask me week 1. Might have had a different answer, but I think the Buccaneers handedly.
Yeah, handedly, to say the least, they're giving it to the Texans, right? Not giving it, but like their offense looks good, and I think you'll have Chris Godwin back for sure. If he's not already back here, he'll be in like full practice snaps by then. This isn't easy, and the Jets were so abysmal last week. So, Buccaneers. Moving on, Washington versus the Raiders at home in Washington. The Raiders, I don't think, do very well on the road. This will continue. I'm going Washington. They need to bounce back after that Green Bay game, and they're rested longer.
I mean, I agree. I think Washington. I think it could still be a close game, but I do think Washington this one. Um, Next game is Packers versus Browns. Again, this isn't a crazy one. I think the Packers are going to destroy the Browns, and that's it. That's yeah.
It's gonna be a hot. I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take. I think the Browns have officially re-entered conversation for being the worst team in the league right now. Unfortunately, this is what you get for treating Baker Mayfield like he's below nothing when he literally researched your franchise just because he had like a couple of mid years.
And then you sign a predator. It's
Yeah,
just
and then
it's karma coming around.
you sign a predator for 200 guaranteed $1 million. And then the quarterback you threw to the curb is now he took his team to the playoffs twice. I hate that happened, but the Buccaneers are only
Props were-
good
yeah, props where
because of
props are
Baker
due.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that experience showing. These Browns, booty, Green Bay, dogging them. That's all I gotta say about that one. Moving on to this next game, New York versus Kansas City. If you had asked me last week, this was a Kansas City any day of the week. But that New York offense actually has some rhythm to it. So it makes it a bit harder. I am gonna go Chiefs though, just purely because the one thing Dallas did not have was pass rush. This Chiefs team definitely has pass rush. Putting pressure on Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, whoever is out there, all three of them are the same. Put a little pressure on them, they fold like lawn chairs. I'm going Chiefs here. Not handedly, but probably by a score or two.
Yeah, I agree with that take. I think New York does have a very good defense. It kind of just depends on what are they gonna do. Russell Wilson, are we gonna see the Russell Wilson from one who we were saying should get benched, or is it Russell Wilson of week two who threw for 450?
Yeah.
It kind of just really depends on which Russ we get. I do agree with you. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna start 0-3, but I do think this will be a better game than I would have thought. Going to what the Monday night game will be, which is Lions versus. This is a very good
This is a
matchup.
good
I
one.
am nervous for this, but I gotta stick with my hometown team. I guess I'm not from Detroit, but I gotta stick with my team.
It counts. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's not like there's another team close by you.
I mean, I'm from Michigan. I get to pick between Packers or the Lions, and I'm not picking.
Oh yeah.
But I do think the Lions will win this one. I think it will be very close. But seeing what the Lions did last week, or yeah, this last weekend, really, if it hadn't been 55 or 52-21, I would say the Ravens would win. But they can have the good communication, have the good play calling, play complementary football, and again just clean up a couple things that they could have done better. I think that they can win against one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, if not in the last 20 or 30.
Oh yeah. This is a coin flip game in my opinion. Um, as you guys have probably guessed by now, coin flip games for me just have to go to the home team. I I you can make a case for either one. I mean, the Ravens put up 41 last week against the Browns team, and the Lions put up 52 against a worse or a better, sorry, Chicago Bears team. So this is one would assume this is going to be an offensive shootout. I think this is probably going to end within one score, probably a touchdown. All right, bold pick here, 6 points, no PAT. You went for two, didn't get it, lost because of it. Not lost because of it, but it's gonna be a 6 point victory, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know
And
what
it's
you mean.
not by
So
two field goals. It's gonna be by either a missed PAT or a
the
failed
other
2 point.
team, if the other team had had time, they could have marched down the field, gotten a touchdown, and won by 1 point.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But in reality, you're gonna fail. Um, Close game. It's gonna go. It could go either
Yeah.
way, but I'm gonna go
And
Ravens here.
I'm not and I'm really not upset about that take. I think
It's the right.
I don't expect like I want the Lions to win and I will pick them, but if they lose to the Ravens, I'm not mad about it. They're a very good team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean these two teams I have meeting in the Super Bowl. Actually, this is supposed to be Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, this
if
is
you
a
guys
Super
watched
Bowl
episode
preview.
0,
Yeah.
you would know same results happening here as I have in the Super Bowl. But there you go. This is gonna be a potential Super Bowl matchup. Moving on, this is just the NFC games now. Philadelphia Eagles at the Rams. Rams high-powered offense right now.
Divisional rematch.
Yeah, divisional rematch actually. Yeah, but they're coming into Philadelphia. Philadelphia looking pretty decent offensively. You all obviously have Saquon Barkley. The Los Angeles Rams are really just running high on offense because that's just Sean McVay. They run out of gas here. I'm going Philadelphia. Their defense is probably going to dog them. Maybe not Puka Nacua specifically, but I can easily see two Matthew Stafford interceptions with a below 50% completion rate with like under 250 yards. I can see that so easily.
I agree with everything you say, but I just feel like I feel like a Sean McVay masterclass here. Because they were the one team. They were the one team, besides maybe the Packers, even though they were in control of both of those games, kind of gave Philly a run for its money in the playoffs. And it really, like you were saying, it really just does depend on Matthew Stafford. Are we gonna, I mean, Matthew Stafford is still so much better than Russell. Is Matthew Stafford gonna who's gonna win the turnover? I guess that's the best way to put it. Can the Rams and their very good D line, can they get pressure on Jalen Hurts? Can they force a turnover? Can Matthew Stafford play? I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say
I mean, like you said, it's literally gonna take a Sean McVay masterclass here. To which that's you take those losses.
yeah, and I won't die on this hill. I would not be surprised if Philly one-handedly, but I think LA. I think this is kind of like they have to make a run this year to win something. They could win the Super Bowl. I think they're a sleeper team every year at this point. We're forgetting they won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So I'm gonna pick them. On to the next game, Falcons versus Panthers. Until the Panthers can show that they're not dookie right now, I'm going to pick the Falcons, especially if they play the same game defensively. We see what Bryce Young can do under pressure. He kind of is a statue in the pocket sometimes. So we'll just see, how does Dave Canales, do they bounce back? Do they get an important division win? Right now, I'm going to say the Falcons win.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Atlanta as well. This is at Carolina. We actually do pretty well at Carolina. I think the last 2 years we've split with them and we've won both away games, lost both home games. It's a weird trend. Once we get to it, I'm also gonna go Atlanta at home. This is we usually, our cycle is we split with them for a couple of years, we sweep them. We split with them for a couple of years, we sweep them. That's just how it goes. I'm really feeling a sweep year. It doesn't look like the coaching has really figured out kind of what to do for Bryce Young. I'm not a big supporter of Bryce Young. He showed some flashes, sure, but Yeah, he has to do that for 4 quarters. I know Atlanta's, not the fourth quarter team. We played really well though this week. So I have confidence, if we play a fraction of what we did last night with the pressure, which I believe is like a 45% pressure rate between the 2 weeks. Insane. If we can keep up 45% pressure against Carolina, Bryce Young is not going to be able to do much. It,
He's gonna get destroyed.
oh yeah. It also depends. Does AJ Terrell come back? We'll see. Our rookies are really good with picking it off. So hopefully we'll get a couple more there. Jesse Bates, same thing. I think our defense is going to carry us here, and their defense it's not bad, better than most, but they're still averaging about like 22 yards or 22 points a game. And if we can get that, I don't think they can put up 22 points. So I'm going Falcons. Moving on, we have Seattle versus New Orleans. In Seattle, you guys already know. Hate the Saints. Saints are trash. 0-3. Seattle up.
You don't think Spencer Rattler can get this one?
No, I don't. After what they did, they put up 31 to the Steelers 17 last week, and we thought the Steelers were good because they threw 4 touchdowns against the Jets. These New Orleans Saints, who have been a bit better offensively than I'd like to admit, they're coming up against, a real well-built defense on 2 fronts, secondary and the front 7. And an offense that you can't just rush the passer really fast. You have to do something about Jackson Smith and Jigba. You have to do something about Cooper Kupp. Saints just can't hold it together.
I forgot that Cooper Kupp is.
Everybody forgot Cooper Kupp is there. I try to look at his fantasy stuff early in the year. He's not doing well. But I think that's just because he's now a wide receiver 2 or 3 or something like that, and it's his first year in Seattle. I don't know what happened to him, but he's not doing well. Yeah, fall from grace, really.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I do think if we can see the same Seahawks team we saw last week, they can win. The Saints haven't really played anyone particularly good, especially with a Mac Jones-led 49ers. I just think, like I said, I don't think they're as bad as I thought they were, but that does not mean that they're a good team. For the next, we have an NFC West showdown. Last week, again, I would have said 49ers, but I just think with Arizona really needs to have a good start to a season. I know that they haven't really played anyone particularly good this year, but I'm going to try to maybe pick the upset here, and I'm going to say that the Cardinals win. I just just with the injuries and with Brock Purdy out, I think it'll be a very close game. It could even be the classic, Kyle Shanahan blown lead type game. I think the Cardinals will come up with a victory.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think the injuries to San Francisco, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey's probably going to be on the injury report
by the end of this game. He might be injured again. We don't even know.
Yeah, I just when you're playing as a broken offense against a full one, I know that San Francisco has their defense, but like I said, like this is a divisional matchup. These guys play twice a year. They start to know each other. This is Jonathan Gannon's second year. This is his 3rd matchup with them. He's learned a thing or two. And
he's definitely an underrated coach, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. But you got to kick a dead horse while he's down, especially if you're especially if you're an underperforming team on average. So yeah, I'm also going Arizona here. Last game, Bears versus Dallas. The Bears probably are going to try to do something fun and fresh. I don't think it's going to work. This Dallas offense just came off of a 40 bomb. I know, and they won. Brandon Aubrey. I thought the one thing that everybody knew is that Dallas offense was going to be good. Can the Dallas defense do something? This is a great kind of rest almost. The Bears are not a very explosive offense. I know they have pieces, but something inside of that organization just hates offense and loves defense.
Yeah.
I don't
And their
think they
defense isn't even good.
yeah, the defense is not playing well either. So I think whatever's there is just dead. The Bears are I have fallen to I think they're 0-3. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Dak is good. CD Lamb is good. Their secondary got torched by Jared Goff. I think they'll get torched by the Cowboys as well. That's it.
Yeah, that's basically all she wrote, man. Um all right.
Yeah, that's what we have for our predictions.